Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. This is Umaira Sin, lecture English Times Institute, and today we are going to discuss the memo writing for the communication skills students. So pick out your pencil and the papers to note down the important points, because we have already discussed this memo writing in the physical class, but now we are going to discuss the format and what is the importance of the memo writing, and your practice topic will be given in your WhatsApp group. So what is memo? Memo is derived from the memorandum, which means reminder. So it means that when we talk about the communication, and many of the students was asking me, ma'am, what is the purpose of communication in memo? So my dear sons and the daughters, this communication is very much important. Either you are doing it by writing or orally, with your physical postures, or by some non-verbally, or sometimes by the sign language as well. So every type of the communication is always bilateral and very much important. Memo writing has a twofold purposes. Number one, it is for the information. Sometimes it is used to to convey the sudden changes in your decisions as well. It is the shortest form of the messages, like it is different from the letters. In the letter you may include so many details, and so many things can be relevant things can be included in the letter, while in the memo you just have to convey the shortest and the concise message. As we know that there are the 7 C's of the communication, which is the complete, correct, concise, consider, it must have some courtesy as well, and the clarity as well. So while writing the letter and the memo, some notices and the reports, so all the 7 C's must be the part and the parcel of your written communication. Why the memo is important? Memo is used for the internal and external communication, and now it will be very shocking for you that why I am saying it external. So let me discuss and let me explain you so briefly. Internal communication means it is very much essential for the upward, downward and the horizontal communication. It is a kind of a short notices, kind of a short report, sometimes kind of a short announcement as well. Suddenly your boss says that there will be that after half an hour I will arrange with my subordinate. So this kind of a message being sent to all the employees on their email ID, it is a memo. If I announce suddenly that there will be the test tomorrow on the topic interview and its type, then and I will send this information to every one of you, that will be the memo. If I announce, or if my boss announce that there will be that your break timing has changed, because previously it was 12 p.m. now it will be 2 p.m. so it will be the memo. In the foreign companies and in the companies around the globe, the memo is very much common. Suppose if you have an offices, more than 1 or 2 the sub offices within a city or the out of the city, if you are making some kind of a changing in your policy or in your contract, in the daily routine or in the meeting timing, if there will be some change at one office, the same message will be conveyed to other offices, and this kind of information is said to be the memo. So memo is of different types. It cannot be more than 1 to 2 pages, like you cannot think that you may write 3 to 4 pages of memo. If the information is essential and very much important, then your memo will be of 1 page or maximum of 1.5 pages or 2 pages. There will be no signature at the end of your memo, there will be no salutation, but the subject is important. So let us draw the format of writing the memo. Suppose it is a single page, a single plain page of your email box of composing message. Sometimes it is been said that memo cannot be sent handwritten. What is SMS? SMS is a short message service, and in the previous ages we had pager as well. These were the form of memos, and the SMS you send to your friends or your teachers, these are the form of memos as well. You are just giving them the reminder or sending them the most appropriate, relevant and the composed information. The memo, you would have 4 important things: to, from, date, subject. Okay, two means that you are sending the information or sending the news or sending some details to the person. It can be 2, 4, 5 or in the hundreds as well, or to all the employees. You will write down your email. It cannot be sent on your mobiles, on your personal number. So, email ID is very much necessary to follow or send the memos. From, if it is you, your email will be mentioned here. Date, no, I told you earlier that I do not like myself the very conventional type of the date, and I set them the Kirana date as every one of you know. The date must not be like 26, 2020, although it is appropriate, but it does not look good. The appearance matters a lot. First impression is the last impression. So, the date would be like July 2, 20. This time of the date written is much appreciable. Subject is the scanned information. So, subject is not be so much lengthy, like you cannot write your whole memo in the subject. The subject should be of 3 to 4 words. It can be the holiday announcement, mid-term date announcement, it can be summer vacation announcement, it can be meeting call. So, there can be so, or you may write down the assignment submission deadline, assignment submission last date, or the result announcement, the midterm date announcement, final announcement, your voucher, fee voucher announcement. So, this is the subject. Many of you, let me give you a very simple example, that last day your mobile phone were so much occupied with the message from the college that you have to submit your dues, and this is submit the dues and this is the date. So, that was the memo which was sent by the institute. It was not a kind of a message, it was because it contained the complete information, the date and the fees, from where you can get your fees voucher, what will be the last date. So, that was a memo, because there was not introduction and not a complete conclusion, or there was no signature in the downward. So, it was a memo, and now your information starts from here. There will be no salutation like that, dear sir, dear ma'am, loving sir, nothing will be written here. Your message will be start, it is announced that your midterm examinations are going to be held in September 2020. So, deposit your fees and collect your roll number slips. So, this will be the information being sent to you on your emails or on your mobile phones. So, this is the memo. There are so many other technicalities which are involved in the memo writing, is that there should be margin outside, that if you are writing in the paragraph, like if your memo is switching from one paragraph to another paragraph, if your informations are more lengthy, then there must be each paragraph of 5 lines. Then instead of starting from this or from this, you must give a 2-line space and start writing another paragraph, then another paragraph, then another paragraph. So, it will be of 1.5 pages. There will be no signature in the other corner of the page. What are the don'ts of writing the memo? Number 1, you cannot give the exaggerated words or exaggerated information. Number 2, no pseudonyms, nicknames or the fun jokes, or you cannot crack jokes on the memos. Number 3, if you cannot use the pompous or a very high vocabulary in your memos, because you are writing a memo, so it should be very simple, concise and the brief. You are not writing a kind piece of literature, so avoid using the pompous and the high vocabulary. It must be understandable by every person who is not that much literate. Number 4, you cannot address the person with their names, you can call them the Mr. or the Miss. If you are giving an additional information or additional pages are attached, appendixes, so what you can write that the other detailed information is being attached with this email. So, that is how you may give an detailed information as well. If you are sending some brochure, you may attach with the memo. but you cannot copy paste or you cannot write down in the message box. What are the do's? Like writing the memo, you must be very much careful in grammatically. If you are writing the date, that must be accurate, giving any facts and the figures, that must be accurate as well. You cannot give a fake information, you cannot give any kind of unjustified information that you have to justify yourself after sending the information. So, this is the memo writing, and memo writing is very simple and it is very common nowadays, and people rather placing the public notices or sending the report and wait for 2 or 3 days. The memo is very much quick and you may send it to within or outside the company. If you want to change in your product name, in the product outlook, if you want to change the submission date, the fees voucher or anything else, it is all now dependent upon the memorandum. You may just send memo and your message will be conveyed. So, this was the topic for today. Your assignment and the task will be provided in your WhatsApp group. So, follow the video lectures and stay home, stay safe. Allah Hafiz.